Hello, I'm Joel Bolton, and I'm the guy who created this notable instrumental music competition. And I'm very excited to be presenting the semi-final tonight. And I'd just like to, first of all, introduce our judges. Now, you'll notice that there's a couple of judges that either who don't comment or in this case aren't even present, and that's because of some connections with the competitors. But we really wanted to make sure that anyone in New Zealand had the opportunity to participate in this show. So we've been very careful to make sure that any decisions relating to these competitors, that those particular judges have nothing to do with it. So anyway, I would like to introduce our judges immediately. And we have, first of all, Bridget Douglas. Can you give us a wave, Bridget? And Bridget is first flautist in the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra. And she's a champion of New Zealand music. And I think she surely is one of the best flute players that New Zealand has ever produced. So thank you so much for being part of this, Bridget. We really appreciate that. We also have Lissa. Lissa, can you give us a wave? And Lissa is a fantastic cellist. She has been a member of, I might just make sure I get my facts right here, but she's been a member of the Auckland Philharmonic Orchestra, the City of London Symphonia, and the National Symphony Orchestra of Scotland. And we in Nelson feel very lucky to have her here. I'd also like to introduce John Thompson, who you can't see at the moment, but I'm still going to introduce him. John is a top violinist who returned to New Zealand after a number of years, and after a stellar career in the US, teaching at various universities and playing in front of President George Bush and Queen Elizabeth, no less. So he's also incidentally appeared as a violin player in a number of Hollywood movies. And finally, we have Michael Selker. Can you give us a wave, Michael? It's obvious who you are, but anyway. Now, I first got to know Michael 2 or 3 years ago when I conducted him in a performance of Chopin's second piano concerto, and with the Marlborough Pacific Orchestra. And I was really impressed not only with his poetic piano playing, but also with the warmth of his personality and a wonderful sense of humor. So look, I'm so pleased to have all you guys on board, and thank you so much for participating in this first ever notable competition, hopefully one of many to come. And I just wanted to make one last comment that all these judges were chosen not only for their superb musicianship, but also for their kind-heartedness. I think they have both those attributes in abundance. So without further ado, we're going to get on with the show. And so the way it's going to work is that the semi-finalists, rather than announcing all the semi-finalists, we're going to introduce each semi-finalist with their video performance. And at the end of each of these performances, the judges will be asked to make a few comments. Then we'll take a short break, and we'll come back and judge and make some comments on the seniors. And then at the end, I am going to hand out a few discretionary awards as well for some very top performers who missed out in getting into the semi-final by the narrowest of margins and for the smallest of reasons. So let's jump right in there now and listen to our first performer. So we have, first of all, Benedict Thomas, and he's playing a lovely Gigue by Bach. And just a few things about Benedict. He comes from a family of 4 children. They all play violin and piano. And so he says they're a very noisy family, and I can quite imagine that. He says, I love our piano, and I started lessons when I was 4. He said, I got up early, very early, every morning and raced my sister to the piano so I could get it first. If I didn't, I would cry. Now I get up before everyone else does. So that's an elegant solution, isn't it? He says, I love playing the piano very much, but I can't bring it everywhere. So that's a little bit sad, especially because he likes to go busking, but he can do that with the violin. So anyway, here is our first contestant. Thank you very much, Benedict. I wonder, Michael, if you would like to make a couple of comments about this performance.
Yes, I found the performance highly musical with lovely phrasing. It was a very dramatic performance of Bach, which is something I always enjoy. And I also enjoyed the fact that Benedict was using the pedal, which I also think is highly valuable and a very good idea in general in playing works by Johann Sebastian Bach.
Thank you very much. Bridget, have you got anything you'd like to say?
Benedict, I just was so impressed with your focused performance and your obvious enjoyment of the music. There was a lovely clarity in your playing, and it was a real joy to listen to. The only constructive comment I'd have is work on maybe some more dynamic contrasts, but you're just a very exciting young player. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. And Lissa, over to you now.
I have to agree with everything the other two judges have said, and I really enjoyed your performance, Benedict. And musical playing, joyful to listen to, so thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce our next competitor. This is Angel Tao, and she's playing a movement from the Violin Concerto Number 1 by Zeitz. Angel Tao is 9 years old, and she lives in Auckland. She is in year 5 at Diocesan School, and her hobbies are music, dancing, singing, drawing, reading, and swimming. Out of these, she enjoys music the most, especially in playing violin, which she's learnt about 2 years, which is not long. She feels this is the best way to relax herself. So here we have Angel Tao playing part of Zeitz's Violin Concerto. Thank you very much, Angel. And who shall I start with this time? Maybe Michael, would you like to say? Or did I start with you last time? Doesn't matter. Carry on.
Angela, I enjoyed your playing very much, and this was beautiful stage presence, confident performance, and highly musical performance. Um, the one constructive advice I would have is, I think that even playing a concerto with a pianist is in some ways a chamber performance, and I would have loved to see somewhat more contact with your pianist. But it was really an outstanding performance.
Thank
you so much, Michael. Lissa.
Well done, Angel. That was absolutely lovely. I really enjoyed your joy of the music. Lovely changes of mood. Well done on your bow control and vibrato. And a small helpful comment is keep working on your double stops to get a more resonant sound. Well done, though. That was a really lovely performance.
Thank you, Lissa. Bridget, over to you.
Angel, I love the way that you were practically dancing when you played. I could just see you had the real sense of the rhythmic, waltz-like rhythm, and I really enjoyed your obvious enjoyment of the piece. So thank you for a beautiful performance.
Thank you, Bridget. Now, I would like to introduce our next semi-finalist. This is Janice Tsai. So Janice Tsai is 11 years old, and she has been learning the harp since she was 6. It all began when, during a visit to her current harp teacher's home, she played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with little instruction. Janice's grandma immediately recognized a future harpist and sponsored her to learn harp. This is how Janice started her journey to become a harpist. Janice relishes the various opportunities to perform with her harp. Many of our elders love to listen to her performances because harp is also many grandma's dream instrument. So probably true too. So we're now going to listen to Janice Tsai playing Scherzetto by Eber. So, who shall we go to first this time? Maybe Bridget, would you like to say? You're used to working with harp players, I'm sure.
So, I really enjoyed Janice's performance. She had such a lovely sense of the the style of the piece, and wonderful contrasts between the sections with fantastic dynamics, which made the piece just so enjoyable to listen to. My only comment for Janice, but I mean, she's doing so well for someone so young, is just to work on keeping the rhythm as steady as possible. But Janice, I really enjoyed your performance, and I think you're doing incredibly well. What a wonderful technique. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to Lissa now. Thank you very much, Bridget.
Well done, Janice. That was a stunning performance. I really enjoyed it. Absolutely beautiful. And I just want to echo what Bridget said. I agree with everything she said. Lovely changes of mood with your created by your dynamics. Very musical. Well played.
Thank you very much. Michael, over to you.
Yes, this was a gorgeous performance, very captivating, and I really love the way the Janis was moving musically between various parts of the scherzetto. And apart from that, I absolutely agree with the other comments.
Thank you very much, Michael. So I would now like to introduce our next performer. This is Daniel Wang, born in 2012, so he's still pretty young. So Daniel plays violin, piano, and cello, and I've got a whole list of awards and various things that he's won. So I won't go through all of them now, but it's a pretty impressive list. And he is a member. Let's see if I've got this right. Oh no, that's something. It's another performer I'm thinking of. But anyway, in his spare time, and I'm not sure how much he has, he enjoys swimming and reading. So it's now over to Daniel, who's going to play the fourth movement from Kabalevsky's Second Sonata. This is from the Opus 13 set. So take it away, Daniel. So, what did you think, guys? Who shall we start? Lissa, your turn to start, I think.
Daniel, I loved your performance. You played so beautifully. What a great choice of piece as well. Very mature performance from you, with lovely changes of mood and awareness of the changes of harmony. And I very much enjoyed the little fugue section. It was very easy to hear the different voices as they came in. So very well done. Lovely performance.
Over to you now, Michael.
Yes, that was a marvelous performance. Daniel, I think that it was very technically secure, dramatic, with a lot of flair. It's always beautiful to listen to Kabalevsky. We do not hear Kabalevsky enough. One constructive advice would be, I think you could achieve even a finer division of the musical phrases. That is something I would work on.
Thank you so much, Michael. Bridget, what would you like to say?
I completely agree with everything the other judges have said. Wonderful technique and someone so young, a real sense of musical conviction. Thank you very much, Daniel. Wonderful playing.
Thank you, judges. And we now move on to Leon Harmon. So Leon Harmon is playing some trumpet for us. Just would like to say at this stage too, it would be lovely to get a few more wind and brass and maybe some percussion players as well involved in this competition. We certainly have many violins and pianos, which is lovely. Some fantastic performers with these instruments, but come on, you wind players and brass players and percussion players. Let's get some nice performances together for next year. So anyway, back to Leon. Leon plays trumpet, as I said, and he's playing a piece called Flamenco. I couldn't quite see from the music who the composer was, but anyway, it's got a very Spanish flavor. It might suit you, Michael, who's coming to us tonight actually from Spain, where he resides. Anyway, this is what Leon said. I am Leon Harmon, aged 11, and I play trumpet, piano, and violin. It's amazing how many of these kids are multi-instrumentalists. I play in orchestras, big band, concert band, school band, brass band, any band really. He says he started playing music at 4, but took lessons with a teacher at age 5. And finally, I really want to play the drums now, but I have to convince my dad first. So go on, Dad, let him have a go. So we are now going to listen to Leon. Thank you very much, Leon. Who shall I pick on this time? I think you can start us off, Bridget.
Leon, that was a very vibrant performance. Thank you. And you had a wonderful sense of the rhythm of that was required for that flamenco style. Great tone. I love your tone and a really good sense of pitch, which is so important on the trumpet. The only comment I'd have is work on trying to get maybe a little more clarity in the articulation and a little more variety and dynamics. But Leon, you're doing so well. for your age. So keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thanks, Bridget. Michael.
Yes, I agree with Bridget completely, and it was a very convincing, engaging performance. Absolutely a pleasure to listen to. I think one constructive comment alone would be to work a bit more on divisions of the phrase and dynamics and make it even more beautiful and versatile. But it was a great pleasure to listen to you play.
Thank you so much, Michael. Lisa.
And I agree with the other judges and with all their comments. And thank you, Leon. That was an absolutely lovely performance. Really enjoyed it. It really captured the intensity of the piece really well. So well done.
Thank you so much. So we move on to our, we've got 3 performers left in this category. So I'd now like to introduce Taemin Lee. So Taemin is 11 years old and has been learning the piano since 5. She talks about a few things here. She's currently preparing for her grade 8 exam. And she said, exploring these pieces during the lockdown period helped me to adapt her musical style. Her hobbies, I thought the list of hobbies was quite interesting. My hobbies include reading, painting and art, swimming, and of course playing the piano. Some of the things I like is ice cream and chocolate. Well, I'm with you there, Taemin. And the color blue, and she loves dogs, apparently, especially my own precious doggy called Kai. She says, the second I glimpse a sight of a dog, I'll be right there in a second, begging the owner to let me pet it. So, Taemin, let's see what you've got for us. Oh, she, by the way, I forgot to say, she is playing a piece by, sorry, I can't remember the composer, but it's called Remote Xiangalila. So it's a Chinese piece. Thank you, Taemin. Michael, I think we'll start with you now.
Yes, I think, first of all, since I teach in mainland China part of the year, I listen to a lot of works from that country, and I'm not always the greatest fan. This is actually a very beautiful work. I really enjoyed listening to that, absolutely first-class music. The playing was highly musical, sensitive, very beautiful sound quality, very clear narrative. One advice would be to and of course this is subjective, to either play a bit more of the melodic line or a bit less of the inner voices in the left hand. So gorgeous playing, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Michael. Can we have Lissa now, please?
Well done, team, and that was absolutely lovely playing. And I have to say, I agree with everything Michael has said. And really beautiful, subtle playing, which evoked the mood of the music really, really well. So lovely.
Many thanks, Lissa. Bridget.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with the other judges. Taman, it was just lovely, sensitive playing. I felt like you were really inside the music, and it was all about the music, and that was lovely. You just had a quiet confidence about you that I enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you for your insightful comments once again, judges. Wonderful to hear that. It will be very helpful for those players too. So I'd now like to introduce Ryan Ye. Ryan is 8, so another one of our younger performers. He's playing a cello impromptu by a Russian, there's some other mix in there, I can't remember, but basically a Russian composer called Alexander Aratunian. So Ryan has had a lot of experience playing already in his young years. He's been learning the cello for almost 4 years, and he's been performing in different countries over the last year. Apart from cello, he also learns piano, and he is a member of a delightful little group, you might want to check them out, called the New Zealand Star Trio. So it's a group of equally young and talented little children, and I think they play all over the place, by what I can gather. So Ryan is now going to play for us. Thank you very much, Ryan. And let's start with Lissa.
Fabulous, Ryan. I really enjoyed your performance. You have a great sense of style and you achieved an excellent range of dynamics on your small cello. I know how hard that is. And well done on all your technique. Your bowing technique was fabulous. Love your spiccato. So it all added to it to make the performance really exciting and really enjoyable. And then just a couple of tiny helpful comments to get a bit more colour in the sort of more gentle sections. Maybe use a bit more vibrato. Work on your vibrato speeds. This is very high level sort of comments. So it was all excellent. Another comment for your accompanist, just to be aware at times the accompaniment was a little bit too loud. Just with a smaller cello, just be aware of not overpowering at times. Most of the time it was fine, but really an excellent performance. Very well done indeed.
Thank you so much, Lissa. Bridget, your turn.
Ryan, it was an outstanding performance, really. Just such incredible technical accomplishment, wonderful focus and concentration in your playing, and great ensemble skills, and obviously Lissa's comments about your vibrato. I think that will help with the tonal variety, but congratulations on a fabulous performance.
Thank you, Bridget. Michael, the last one.
Yes, it was absolutely delightful to listen to this work, and played with wonderful energy and great enjoyment in the playing, and a very fine sense of rhythm. I agree with the other judges that your collaborative pianist, who is obviously very talented and a fine player, I would suggest that she performs one or two dynamic levels less throughout the work. It could have also been due to mic placement or the place you were both seated in the venue, but in any case, I think that in some cases you were slightly covered by your pianist.
Thank you very much for those comments, guys. And we now come to the last competitor in the junior category, the 7 to 12-year-old category, and this is Amy Tang, and Amy plays violin, and she's going to play the Polish dance by I can't remember the first name, but the last name of the composer is Severn Edmund, I think it was actually. Polish dance by Edmund Severn. So this is what Amy has to say about herself. I'm Amy, a year 5 student from St. Cuthbert's College. I love sports. I play golf. I guess she's not talking mini golf here. And I do swimming, and surprisingly, I enjoy studying too. That's nice to hear. Reading will cheer me up. Polish dance has a sense of happiness and excitement, and I think that I am the sort of person who is super energetic when I'm in a good mood. So we are now going to listen to Amy play Polish dance, our final competitor, final junior semi-finalist. so let's wrap up this first half of the show, the end of the junior category of notable. So we'll start with Michael first. I have to ask you to unmute yourself, Michael. Okay,
Yes,
there we go.
So,
All right, you're on now.
Perfect. So, Amy, you're a very strong performer, fine technique. There is a very strong personality. I enjoyed the playing very, very much. I think that as an advice, you could have a greater clarity in the slower part, in the minor part. And I would have loved to see a bit of a more of a closer connection to your pianist. It was very, very solo oriented, and I would have loved to see a bit more of a connection. But wonderful playing, absolutely.
Lissa, over to you.
Absolutely, I agree with Michael as well. Very assured playing, beautiful performance, Amy. I really enjoyed your changes of mood, which I thought you captured really well. Well done playing all the playing on the lowest string. I thought that created a lovely change of mood with that assured playing on the G string. And excellent vibrato. Everything contributed beautifully to a lovely performance. So thank you very much.
Finally, Bridget.
Amy, wonderful playing. I agree with all the other things that the judges have said, and just wanted to say I thought you captured that rustic folk style of the piece so well, and there was a lovely use of rubato. Congratulations on a great performance.
And thank you very much, judges, too. And we are now going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back and listen to the senior category, the 13 to 17-year-olds. So see you soon.